is that the object was relatively big, possibly tens of kilometers, the size of Manhattan Island. And if that's the case, it was 1,000,000 times more massive than the previous objects from outside the solar system, and that was puzzling. It also came in the same plane as the planets around the sun.
On July 1st, 2025, astronomers across the globe stopped in their tracks when telescopes picked up a new cosmic traveler, a third interstellar visitor entering our solar system. Racing in at a mind-bending 137,000 miles per hour, the object has now crossed into the asteroid belt, that vast region between Jupiter and Mars. Researchers breathed a sigh of relief. The newcomer, dubbed 3I-ATLAS, will pass through safely without posing any threat. Still, what it is and how it behaves are sparking more questions than answers. Like most comets, Atlas is gaining speed as the sun's gravity pulls it closer, expected to hit a staggering 152,000 miles per hour by late October 2025. But this isn't just another icy rock on a predictable path. Since the moment of discovery, Atlas has confounded scientists with strange, almost mischievous behavior that refuses to fit neatly into the textbook definition of a comet. The first shock came when Atlas suddenly flared in brightness, far more dramatically than models predicted. "What on Earth, or beyond, is going on here?" one astronomer remarked, as telescopes lit up with the surge. Comets do brighten near the sun, yes, but not like this. Stranger still, when Atlas was first spotted, its glow didn't come from a cloud of gas and dust, as expected, but seemed to shine directly from its surface. Could it actually be producing its own light? That question set imaginations racing, with some daring to whisper, what if it's not a comet at all, but an alien spacecraft cleverly disguised? More cautious voices countered that perhaps its reddish dust coating simply reflected sunlight in an odd way. But the story only grew stranger. As Atlas drifted closer to Mars, its color began to shift. First, a rusty red, then suddenly, astonishingly, it glowed green, a transformation no natural comet has ever pulled off so dramatically. And its brightness? When it was first detected, Atlas barely registered at 18th magnitude, faint and ghostly. Yet recently, it skyrocketed to 12th magnitude. To non-astronomers, that might sound small, but in astronomy, magnitude works backward. The smaller the number, the brighter the object. This was no gentle brightening. This was a comet that seemed to flare and pulse, ignoring the smooth curve that physics usually dictates. And that eerie green glow? It's a head-scratcher. Most green comets shine because of dicarbon molecules, which fluoresce under sunlight. But observations of Atlas reveal almost no dicarbon at all. Instead, data from the James Webb Space Telescope uncovered an odd brew, large amounts of carbon dioxide, plus traces of nickel and cyanogen. Fascinating, yes, but none of these explain the brilliant green shining through telescopes, which leaves two possibilities. Either an unknown gas is at work, or, as a few bold voices speculate, an artificial energy source, perhaps even a hidden reactor, is powering the glow. Of course, there are natural explanations too. One theory is that Atlas is undergoing sudden outbursts. When trapped ices beneath its surface heat up rapidly, they explode outward in violent jets of gas and dust. Such events can make a comet appear to brighten overnight, and history backs this up. Astronomers remember comet Shoemaker-Levy 9, which famously broke into pieces before colliding spectacularly with Jupiter in 1994. Outbursts and fragmentation are well documented in cometary science. Still, the timing and strangeness of Atlas's behavior are hard to ignore. Some scientists point out that its erratic flares, its dramatic color shifts, and its almost theatrical rise in brightness resemble something designed, something engineered to signal or hide. Harvard astronomer Avi Loab recently fanned the flames of curiosity with a provocative article suggesting we shouldn't dismiss the idea of Atlas being more than just ice and rock. His view? If we don't at least consider the possibility of technology, we risk missing what could be one of the most important discoveries in human history. When 3I-ATLAS first appeared, most astronomers were convinced it was just another comet. Strange, yes, but natural. Then, Avi Loab, never one to shy away from bold ideas, threw in a twist. What if this isn't a comet at all? What if it's a spacecraft from another civilization, camouflaged to look like a ball of ice and dust? He suggested it might even release smaller probes as it sails through our solar system, like a mothership quietly scattering seeds of exploration across the planets. Suddenly, a simple icy rock became something much more mysterious. Loab pointed to the comet's sudden surge in brightness, a flare so intense it looked like pieces were breaking off and racing into space. Could those fragments be many probes sent deliberately toward Mars? It was a chilling thought, almost like watching a cosmic hand scattering messengers across the solar system. Two possibilities emerged. Either 3I-ATLAS is just a strange natural object, or it's something technological, a visitor with intentions we can only guess at. At first, some astronomers thought the newly discovered Comet C 2025 F2 might be one of those supposed fragments, perhaps released on purpose as Atlas skimmed near Mars. But Loab's team later discovered it was moving in from the opposite direction, unrelated to Atlas at all. The mothership theory took a hit, but Loab warned against dismissing the comet's strangeness so quickly. Keep watching, he advised, because if it is more than a comet, its secrets might only reveal themselves when it makes its closest pass. That closest pass happens October 3rd, when 3I-ATLAS will sweep near Mars. Many scientists expect nothing more than outgassing ice and dust, but Loab raises the unsettling possibility that this is when the comet could act, shifting its course, shedding fragments, or doing something we can't yet predict. His caution feels less like wild speculation and more like a reminder the universe is full of surprises and we've only just begun to notice them. The mystery deepens when you trace Atlas's path. It came from the direction of the Sagittarius constellation, the same patch of sky linked to decades of unexplained radio signals, including the legendary WOW signal that has baffled astronomers since 1977. That coincidence adds a layer of intrigue, as though pieces of a puzzle are scattered across time and space, waiting for us to fit them together. Could this nothing be more than chance, or are we seeing faint outlines of a much bigger picture? Then there's its trajectory, nearly perfectly parallel to the plane of our solar system. Too neat, too deliberate, some argue, to be purely random. Stranger still, it makes close approaches to several planets, yet somehow manages to avoid Earth. For some, this looks like celestial choreography, the careful weaving of an object that knows exactly where it wants to go. For others, it's nothing more than the mathematics of orbital mechanics. Either way, it keeps us watching. And maybe that's the point. Whether 3I-ATLAS is a lump of ancient ice or something far more extraordinary, it has already succeeded at something profound. It has captured our imagination. It reminds us that the skies above are not just a backdrop, but a stage where mysteries play out in real time. Each flare, each twist of its path pulls us deeper into the story, one where the ending is still unwritten. When 3I-ATLAS reaches perihelion, it will slip directly behind the sun from Earth's view, effectively hiding from our telescopes. In that blinding cover, it could change course, release fragments, or even recharge if it were artificial. What's eerie is the timing. Before 2017, no interstellar objects were known, and now we've seen 3 in less than a decade. Atlas stands out for its bizarre behavior, a glowing surface instead of a normal dust cloud, sudden shifts from red to green, unpredictable brightness surges, and a trajectory that seems almost too precise. Even stranger, it comes from the same region linked to the mysterious WOW signal, deepening speculation about its origins. On October 3, 2025, ATLAS will pass close to Mars, giving scientists a rare chance to capture images with NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and possibly even with spacecraft like Psyche and JUICE. For the first time, humanity might photograph an interstellar object from another planet, offering a closer look at whether this is just a comet or something far more extraordinary.